Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. After defeating his son named Zykor, Goku, with the power that he had, flashed through time itself. Goku remembers waking up, but he was odd. It was in a strange floating chamber. What if Goku from AF was brought back in time and reborn with all of his memories and his powers? Now, for some people who don't know what Dragon Ball AF is, Dragon Ball AF is like the original, basically plus Super. This is originally made by Toritaro. Some of you guys who don't know who that is, if you're a non-Dragon Ball fan, he's the guy that basically draws Dragon Ball currently, and he's taken the reins under Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace. Toritaro originally started by making Dragon Ball AF, and this is where the legendary forms such as Super Saiyan 5 was made. Now this is right after GT. Toritaro made fan mangas for it. Apparently, it was so good and so popular that Akira Toriyama saw it and he invited him to come work for Dragon Ball, and thus started the legendary career of the manga artist Toritaro. So, what is Super Saiyan 5? What is AF Goku? For some people who don't know, I'm going to give you a very short introduction. So Dragon Ball AF takes place 10 plus years after Dragon Ball GT. Goku, in the original Dragon Ball GT timeline, killed and defeated Omega Shenron. And Omega Shenron's power was so strong that he was literally, just by being alive, he was destroying the entire Universe 7 with his power, which is pretty absurd. Which beings such as Super Saiyan God Goku and Beerus were able to do. I'm going to show you how strong the characters were in GT, but the power scaling is different times. Well, Goku was able to defeat him, but he made a deal with Shenron. So Shenron took Goku away to what's called the Dragon Realm. The Dragon Realm is completely off limits to even deities, such as gods and more. It's apparently outside of all the other 12 universes. It's a hidden realm. So that Goku was there and he was training with Pikkon. Goku during that time got absurdly powerful. When he was training with Pikkon, he was even easily blitzing around a good Omega Shenron. The original Shadow Dragons were brought there. Now, they weren't evil anymore because they used the evil Dragon Balls to make them evil, but now they're pure-hearted. Goku in base form by that time was clowning on Omega Shenron, who by this point was already in, if you want to compare, to early super levels of power easily. And Goku in base form was easily blitzing him around. And we know that Super Saiyan 4 is millions upon millions of times boost in power. Super Saiyan 5 is even greater. Goku unlocked it by using Super Saiyan 4 and suppressing his emotions only using 1. And he was able to unlock this power. Though he found it hard to control, he was able to learn it, and he nearly killed Pikkon and Omega Shenron by having this power. Now, his son Zykor was a creation under Akai, who took Goku's blood on planet Yardrat. She then had a son named Zykor, who's basically half Saiyan, half Kai, and Zykor was a menace. Super Saiyan 4 Gohan and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, who are way stronger than they were in the Shadow Dragon arc, were being blitzed by him, and they had absolutely zero chance. Goku, even in Super Saiyan, outclassed Zykor, and when he went Super Saiyan 4, he overpowered him, and once when he went Super Saiyan 5, he made fun of Zykor. This would basically make Goku Universal Plus. Goku can for sure battle gods of destruction, probably even more than that. Even Akira Toriyama, before Dragon Ball Super, he said that there is no other person that he could probably think about to fight Goku, because he's that absurdly strong. Goku was the most broken character ever. So obviously, over 20 plus years later, Dragon Ball Super came out, and of course the other ones as well. So since then, there's been a lot of different power scalings and changes, and introducing the gods of destruction, the angels, and more. But I think that this version of AF Goku can definitely keep it up. But anyway, that's enough about me talking about it, but for some of you guys who don't know, now you know. But anyway, I hope you all enjoy the video. So Goku would have still woken up after defeating Zykor. He would be confused, as he would see a man walk up and put his hand on top of the glass. It was Bardock, his father. Goku starts to kind of remember who he was. He seems so familiar. Is it a reflection of him? He looking in a mirror? Goku doesn't know what happened. He remembers defeating Zykor and seeing a big bright light. He doesn't know what happened. This is when Bardock would then put Goku inside the same space pod. Now mind you, Goku does have his intelligence, his memories, and his power, but he can't really speak or anything right now, nor could he use his power. He's a baby. So this is when they would then tell Goku that he is the future, and they would then send him off. Then Goku would then just remember falling asleep. Goku would then wake up, as he would then crawl around being confused, as he would be able to actually stand up, surprisingly. And this Goku is not as young as we saw in the original. An old man would then meet him. Goku's heart would be pulled as he recognizes him. That's Grandpa Gohan. That's his grandpa, his dad. Grandpa Gohan would then call him Goku, picking him up. Goku was so happy to see him, but he wonders what's happening. Goku's confused. As a few days would then pass, Goku was very peaceful and happy. Now in this timeline, he does not fall off the ledge and hit his head. Even if Goku made the same mistake and did it again, Goku would have flown back up. Goku can't use all of his power because he'll destroy his body, but he can use a very insecure little bit of an amount. So Goku would then begin putting the pieces together. Goku would then understand that he must have gone back in time. That's the only way. But how can he go back? He doesn't know what to do, he doesn't know how. Goku knows he can't use his power, yet he has to wait until he gets a little bit older before he can try using that. He doesn't want to destroy himself or destroy the whole planet. Now, once when a few years would then pass, Goku would quickly grow up, and Goku would hang out with Grandpa Gohan, enjoying his life. Now, Goku in this timeline is going to be changing some things. He wants to meet up with Bulma. Maybe Goku thinks that now this is maybe a chance that Shenron gave him, maybe to go back and fix things? Because Goku remembers that when he fought Zycor, that their power was destroying the whole universe. Maybe they caused irreversible damage or something, maybe? Goku ponders about it, and Goku thinks, well, he doesn't have a choice. As well, maybe this is the second chance that Shenron was talking about. And Goku knows that he still has his power within him, he can feel it. And he has all of his memories and everything else. So this timeline, Goku would quickly go fly off, but he knows that his friends will not recognize him. Or maybe his friends were reincarnated too. He would then fly off to first find Master Roshi. And he would then find Roshi very quickly because he remembers where Roshi's island is at. Finding it, he would then meet Master Roshi. Master Roshi would be confused to see who this young boy was. Goku would state that he's Goku, and that he heard a lot about him. Roshi would say, oh, is that so? Goku states that yes, he's living with Grandpa Gohan, he used to be his teacher. And Roshi says, yes, I remember teaching him. Now Goku would be a little bit sad because he realizes that Roshi doesn't recognize him, or he's not reincarnated either. This would hurt Goku a little bit, but Goku understands that maybe this is the price to pay. Maybe this is what he needs to do. Maybe he can just change things and do the right thing. Change things and make things do a little bit better. Maybe that's the whole reason. Goku doesn't know, but he's going to try and get to the bottom of it. Maybe if he finds the Dragon Balls, he can talk to Shenron again. Now, in the original Ea timeline, Goku actually had powers of Shenron. He was actually able to make wishes, and he was also able to speak to Shenron as well. But Goku can't really feel that right now, because since he went back in time, he doesn't have Shenron's power. So, Goku would need to find the Dragon Balls first, and who's the best person to talk to? Bulma. Goku knows where Capsule Corp is. Using his speed, he would quickly fly over there, getting there much quicker. Now this version of Goku is around 10 to 12 years old like the original. Goku had to sit back for a while so he can grow up and basically learn to control his power again. Once when meeting Bulma, who was actually just about to leave for her summer vacation, go find the Dragon Balls, she would be shocked to see a young boy there. Goku would then introduce himself and say hi to Bulma, and Goku was shocked at how young they were when they first met all those years ago. And still, Bulma is his best friend all to this day. He would then tell her that he knows that she's searching for the Dragon Balls and that he needs her help. Goku would then explain everything to her, explaining who he was and everything. Bulma would not believe it. She thinks that's whole malarkey, as there's no way. Goku would explain, then how did I know that you were leaving to go search for the Dragon Balls to find a boyfriend? That would make Bulma stop, as she never told nobody that. Goku would then tell her things about herself, saying that what she wants to be and who she becomes, and not wanting to spoil too much, as Goku doesn't want to ruin the relationship with Vegeta. He doesn't say that yet. Goku then asks, so are you really from the future? And Goku says, yes, I'm telling you. Goku then explains his whole life, other than cutting out some parts because he doesn't want her to spoil things and have her basically change her attitude in certain parts. Like dating the Prince of all Saiyans and, Vegeta turning Majin and the universe dying or her being controlled by Baby, the whole 9 yards. Well, over time, Goku then asks that he wants to talk to Shenron, and that a long time ago, Shenron took him under his wing and they went to the Dragon Realm, and maybe there he might be able to find answers. Maybe he can go back to his time and fix things. Bulma would then agree to help Goku. So they would then get the Dragon Radar and they would then go search for the Dragon Balls. Now, Goku left a little bit earlier than the original timeline, so he would have already got one of the Dragon Balls from Roshi anyway. Now, mind you, Goku here is much faster. He can just fly holding Bulma the whole way. And with Goku's speed, they'll be able to find the Dragon Balls much quicker. Now, he would be able to find the Dragon Balls before the Red Ribbon Army does, and he would be able to stop Pilaf, Oolong, and the others. Now, Goku would still meet his friends. He would still meet Yamcha, and he would even offer Yamcha to come join him. Yamcha would try fighting Goku. Of course, he has no chance against this version of Goku. Goku knows that Yamcha is a good man, and so Yamcha would then join them on their quest to find all the Dragon Balls. Now, Goku would find the Dragon Balls much quicker, and if there is any threat in his way, he would completely destroy it. Now, Goku knows about the Red Ribbon Army, and he knows about Dr. Gero. He remembers that the androids were basically DNA copies from him, and of course the other Z fighters. He wonders that if he might be able to destroy the androids before they're created. But then he remembers that Android 17 and Android 18 would not be alive by then. And then Krillin won't be able to have a wife, so Goku didn't really think that far. Goku would just kind of maybe worry about it later, as maybe the Red Ribbon Army would then stop when they can't find the Dragon Balls. Now, once when they do find all the Dragon Balls at a much quicker pace here, Goku would then summon Shenron. Now, this is when he would then ask Shenron, and Shenron actually recognizes Goku. Goku asked, "What has happened?" Shenron would then explain that you were given the second chance. Shenron doesn't know too much, but there's a connection between all the dragons. Remember, there is multiple dragons within this universe, different dragons and etc. Shenron explains that he was sent back, maybe have a second chance, and he says to not waste it, as a higher power give him the second chance for all the good that he's done throughout the entire time that he's been alive. In such a short time, he was able to save the universe more than once and truly be a savior. He would then give Goku the second chance that he wanted. Goku would then agree, and Goku thinks that maybe he can change a lot of things, change everything. He would then tell Shenron thank you, as then Shenron would then fly off. Now, Goku knows that he doesn't want to change too much, because then he'll lose what he has, but maybe tweak some things along the way. So Goku knows about the World Tournament. He wouldn't really want to be going there because there's no need to. Goku knows where Tien is, he knows about Krillin, and everybody else. Goku can help all of his friends grow stronger. He also remembers Vegeta. Maybe he can find Vegeta and stop Frieza before Frieza does anything at all. Unfortunately, Goku wouldn't be able to save the Saiyans because they're all destroyed. But maybe he can use the Dragon Balls next time to bring them all back. But then Goku realizes that if he does, then the evil Shadow Dragons might appear again. So Goku's rubbing his head in frustration, trying to figure out what to do. Bulma would then tell Goku just to let it flow. Just live your life like you did before, but make some smarter, better choices. That's how you do it. Don't overthink it. Goku thanks Bulma and agrees. Goku, by this point, since the Dragon Balls are spread back out, he would go search for them really quickly. Now, the Dragon Balls will not be activated again for a while. He would then collect them and keep them in a safe place, to where, again, no evil beings can find it. When the Red Ribbon Army did appear, Goku would have stopped them very quickly. Now, Goku would have made sure to try and find Dr. Gero, but he couldn't find him at all. Now, Dr. Gero would still run off to go do his own thing to get revenge on Goku. Now, this is when cutting forward, Goku would then meet back up with Master Roshi, and he would then become friends with Krillin. Now, meeting Krillin, him and Krillin would then kick it off at first, as Krillin was kind of on Goku. But after a while, Goku would teach Krillin a lot of things. And Goku would then get the rest of the Z Fighters. He would even befriend Tien, Yamcha, and the others. He would then bring them all to Roshi's house, where Goku would begin teaching them. They were shocked with how strong Goku was. They don't know that Goku is from the future at all. Even Roshi was shocked with how strong Goku was and the knowledge that he had. He was like a master. Goku would then teach them a lot of moves, and more. Goku would then begin teaching them how to use techniques such as the Kaioken, which, if you guys don't know what the Kaioken is, it's what King Kai taught Goku in the Saiyan Saga. It amplifies your power. Goku wants the Earthlings and his friends to be as strong as possible. Now, Goku will go up to meet Kami soon. Now, on the way there, this is when Goku would then teach his friends and bring them all the way up to Kami's house. Now, at Kami's lookout, Goku would befriend Kami very quickly. Now, Kami knows something. Goku would be a little bit wary about him. How did he get up here, first off? Why is he so absurdly strong? Goku would then tell him to read his mind. He would then do so, and he would be blown back with the memories that Goku has. It's like a whole other lifetime. Kami understands, and he'll do his very best to help Goku stay on this path and help Goku keep this timeline moving forward. Goku would then thank him, as Kami would then agree to take Krillin, Tien, Chaozu, and Yamcha up on his place to then begin training them. Now, Goku in this timeline would actually stop Yajirobe from eating all the senzu beans, as Yajirobe thought that they were basically sunflower seeds. Now, they would have a lot more. They would begin training under Kami. Goku would actually begin training them alongside Kami as well, teaching them the Kaioken technique, and even teaching them how to use the Spirit Bomb. But the only person who was actually able to learn it was actually Krillin. Now, what about Chi-Chi? Now, Goku is not going to just dip out on Chi-Chi. That makes zero sense, because he loves his sons and his family. So, of course, he would meet with Chi-Chi because he knows where she is, and he would tell her how much he loves her and cares about her. Chi-Chi, of course, would be flustered by it, and Goku says that he promises her when they get older that he wants to marry her. And Chi-Chi, of course, will be so delighted to hear that. So, Goku would then fly back, and he would then begin training alongside with everybody else. Goku is training on his own as he tries to learn how to control his power. He knows that he can't access even a tenth of it because of the fact that, well, he's still new. His body is still young. It's no different than Goku in GT could not use Super Saiyan 3. He was not as strong as he was as his adult body. So, as the time would continue going on, basically Dragon Ball pretty much ended that quickly. Now, when Demon King Piccolo did appear, Goku would easily defeat him. Goku knows to not kill him because of Kami, but Goku remembers that Demon King Piccolo spit out the egg. So Goku would have fought him and easily punched a hole through his stomach. Demon King Piccolo would then spit out an egg, which Goku would then see was Piccolo Jr. And he knew that Piccolo would become a good person one day. He knows this. So he would then destroy Demon King Piccolo before he even wishes for his youth, thus ending the Dragon Ball arc. Now, a few years later, Goku would then find Piccolo. Now, Goku would follow the egg right after killing Demon King Piccolo, finding the young infant Piccolo. Goku would then bring Piccolo to Kami's lookout, shocking everybody, even Kami. Goku would then state just to please trust him, and he would ask if the hyperbolic time chamber was open, but then say yes, as Goku would then go in there for the next 2 years with Piccolo, to make sure that Piccolo grows faster, but also to not make sure that Piccolo tried killing everybody. Now remind you, Namekians grow absurdly fast. Now, within the next few years, Piccolo was able to go from an infant to a full-grown man. So, just to remind you, that's basically how it rolls. So, within the next 3 to 4 years, Piccolo Jr. would have already grown into a full man. So within 2 to 3 years, he's already pretty much a full-grown adult. Him and Goku become good friends, as at first he hated Goku because of the evil within him, but he sees differently since birth because Goku's not all evil. Now, how strong are the characters? Now, Goku would teach Piccolo how to use Kaioken and even more. He would then teach Goku about his Namekian heritage and that he comes from planet Namek. Once when they do step out, how strong are the Earthlings now? Now, we know how strong AF Goku is. He can stay out on the whole sidelines on his own. How strong is everybody else? Well, we know that by the Piccolo Jr. arc, everyone by this point is roughly, I would definitely say, in the 200s to 300s, but since Goku is training them, and they know Kaioken, and they've been in the Room of Spirit and Time as well, they're much stronger. Now in this timeline, they're actually in the couple of thousands range. Basically, they can keep up with Nappa in their base form, which is absurdly strong in the Dragon Ball arc. And they can use Kaioken times 2. They can't go further though, not yet, because if they do, they'll destroy their bodies. Now Piccolo has actually seen the most growth. Training with Goku, Piccolo has accepted the fact of his role. He still hates Kami though, and that's still a fresh wound. But he does respect Kami to a degree. He's not going to destroy him, but he's not going to fuse with them or anything like that anytime soon. Now Goku knows that he has to kind of take a step backing role. Goku will jump in if he needs to, but he wants them to be able to take care of themselves and grow stronger too. He can't babysit them constantly. So now that Piccolo is out, he would then tell Goku that while he does appreciate what he's done, he will defeat him one day. This is when Piccolo would then fly off on his own to begin training on his own. Now, Goku by this point is already aged a few years, but not by a massive margin. As then, a few years later, Goku would continue training with everybody on Kame's lookout. Everyone has actually grown really strong, with Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, and everyone else being definitely in the realms of the Saiyan Saga, which is a really impressive feat, on top of the fact that they can use Kaioken. So, Goku by this point would have known about the next tournament happening, and they should all go there and fight each other. It'll be great. So they would all go to the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Now Piccolo would be there, and he's smirked as he wants to fight Goku. Now, Piccolo has no chance against Goku, of course, but Goku's excited. Goku would then meet Chi-Chi, and this time around, Chi-Chi does not get upset when Goku does not recognize her. Now, this is when Goku would still fight Chi-Chi, who Goku was impressed with how strong she was, and Goku would then offer to marry her like he promised, which she was delighted, and then Piccolo Jr. would begin fighting the other Z fighters. But this time around, the Z fighters can actually pull their own weight. Even when the others fight, the biggest fight will be Tien versus Piccolo. Now, once when Tien would fight Piccolo, and not Goku this time, Tien and Piccolo would actually be a pretty close match. Tien using Kaioken alongside with Piccolo would be able to keep up with each other, trading blows back and forth, having a very impressive match. But unfortunately, Piccolo's been training intensively. Piccolo was able to bump it up to Kaioken times 3. Piccolo has more ki control than even Goku knows, as Goku would comment on how good ki control Piccolo even has. Piccolo would then knock Tien out, but it was a very tough match. Now Piccolo is now the second runner-up, as Goku was now the champion to go fight Goku. So these were the two main contestants for the final championship round. Goku would then give Piccolo a senzu bean, bring him back up to full strength. Goku would then tell Piccolo to give him all he got, because he wants to see Piccolo's full strength. Piccolo would then agree, as they would then step out onto the arena and begin their match. Piccolo would then jump forward, try delivering powerful blows to Goku, who would dodge the attacks, blocking with his elbows and his fist. Goku would then tell Piccolo that you've been planning on something. Piccolo would then smirk, as he would then charge up to Kaioken times 3 once again, as his body would swell in size. Piccolo by this point would then put his two fingers together and work on the special beam cannon, which Goku knows fondly. His power level would then spike. Now, Piccolo by this point in terms of power levels, Piccolo and Tien's power level was roughly around, for Tien, he was around 4,000, Piccolo was around 5,000 to nearly 6,000. So Piccolo has a battle power around 6,000, with Kaioken times 3, he's pretty much as strong as Vegeta is from the Saiyan Saga. Now, with his special beam cannon, it bumps his power up to 35 to 36,000, giving a 2 times boost, which is low on the special beam cannon. He would then fire it at Goku full speed. Goku would then be hit with the attack, and all it would do was just destroy the front of his clothes. Goku would then state that that was a really impressive attack, Piccolo. He's gotten all this strong by himself in these couple of years. He would then knock out Piccolo and help him back up. They would then use the money, as Goku would begin eating for all of it, but as we know, they would then use the winning money as to basically buy their own house and for Chi-Chi to use it to get their life set up. Now, Goku would still have Gohan alongside with Chi-Chi. Now, Goku in this timeline, he respects Gohan for what he did, but this version of Goku is going to be a little bit different. He's going to begin teaching Gohan differently. He knows that Gohan is gentle. He's always been, but he knows about Gohan's raw power, and that he could even surpass Goku one day. He knows that he has it. So, much to Chi-Chi's anger, Goku has an easy fix for this. Goku just works a job. Goku will continue training on his own, but Goku becomes a farmer, as he actually really does enjoy it, as we saw in Dragon Ball AF and also GT, and also in Dragon Ball Super, he really loves it. He would begin farming radishes and cabbage and more, as he would then begin training. He would begin training Gohan when he turns around 4 years old, about a year before Raditz would begin showing up. It was light things. Goku would teach Gohan how to fish, he would teach him how to basically defend himself, and that's the best thing that he would explain to Chi-Chi. Goku promises Chi-Chi and works out a deal that Gohan will continue his studies, but he wants to spend father and son time with him and go train with him. And he begs Chi-Chi that he's working a really good job, and Chi-Chi will, I feel like over time, Goku knows how to talk to his wife. Remember, he's been around a lot more, though not much. Chi-Chi would then agree. So Gohan during that year would basically be the same as he was when he was training under Piccolo. If you guys remember, Gohan had the Goku outfit on with a sword, and he was happy to be outside on his own, surviving and eating by himself. That's the same Gohan we're seeing here, a little bit smaller though. While Gohan was happily training and jumping around on the river, Goku would begin training with his son, teaching him to grow stronger. He knows that Gohan is growing rapidly quickly. Gohan by this point has actually grown really strong for his age. Gohan already has a power level of around 200. Now, when Raditz starts to show up, by this point, Gohan's new power level, once when he gets to Master Roshi's place, is roughly around 220, which is really strong for his age. Now, of course, Gohan is still inexperienced, and he's still a bit shy. He's still a little boy, so he's still a little bit scared, but he does have a lot of confidence to himself. He has his chest out. He's very confident. Goku knows that Raditz is coming, but now Goku knows that maybe this time he can try and save Raditz, not kill him. Once when Raditz would then show up, Goku already knows the whole story he's going to say. Goku would then show Raditz why he has no chance. Raditz would try attacking Goku, but it would be in vain. Goku was far too powerful, and he would then tell Raditz and give him a chance to please save yourself and leave Frieza and the others behind. He knows that Raditz can be a good person. Raditz would then be in fear, as Raditz would basically not have much of a choice. Raditz would then tell him that a Saiyan would never just give up like this. Now, again, Raditz knows that he's dead either way. Goku would then state, do you really want to go back to Vegeta and that bald Nappa guy or Frieza? They'll just kill you for failing to take the planet. Raditz has no choice, so he decides to stay. Now, the Z-Fighters are not too fond of Raditz. Goku's not worried about him. Raditz will stay nearby at Grandpa Gohan's house for the time being, and over the next year, he knows that Vegeta and the others are coming, and he has to get them over here. The best way to do that is basically he talks about the Dragon Balls, and he knows that this is when Vegeta and Nappa will be over here. Or you can have a timeline to where Goku would then tell Vegeta and Nappa to come over here directly, and they definitely would. So for the next year, Goku would begin training Raditz on Kami's lookout, alongside with Gohan, who would actually begin training with Piccolo. So Goku can focus his full time on Raditz, but he knows that Gohan needs Piccolo. They're best friends in the other world. Goku knows that Gohan needs to train with Piccolo because it's good to have a different teacher, one that's very tough like Piccolo is. So Gohan will begin his training with Piccolo, and Gohan would not need to be taking as much time to prepare. So they have a full year to train fully. This would make Gohan stronger. This will also make Piccolo a lot stronger. Goku would then go into the Room of Spirit and Time with Raditz, as they only have one more turn in there, with Popo not having enough and he has to fix the door. After training, this is when Raditz and Goku would then step out, and they would continue training as Goku would then teach Raditz all about Kaioken. Now Goku knows about gravity training, and he's already talked to Bulma all about it. So this is when Raditz would then stay at Capsule Corp for the time being, and he would begin training in the new gravity room that Bulma's made. Now, would Raditz get with Bulma? I don't think so. They don't really seem to fit very well together. But you could just say that Raditz either gets with somebody like Launch, or that's up to you in the comments. You can let me know below. Now, this is when Raditz, by this point, he has already gotten much stronger. Goku is with him in the gravity chamber as they push the gravity up to 20 times. Now, this is pretty heavy for Raditz, but he's able to manage. Goku would then smirk and he would raise it up to 50. Making Raditz fall to his face as he was struggling to even move. Goku then was not even affected by the gravity as Goku was standing in it perfectly fine. Raditz was then surprised as he tells Raditz to continue to push his power. Goku will help Raditz turn into a Super Saiyan, but he needs to basically get his body ready to handle that power. So, over the next 6 months, they would begin training, and near the end, Raditz was beginning to start his Super Saiyan training. Goku would then show Raditz Super Saiyan, shocking him as the training would begin starting. It'll be the same sequence between Goku and Gohan when Goku was training him in the Room of Spirit and Time on how to turn into a Super Saiyan. That's the same effect here. Now, Raditz is his brother after all, and they are gifted. So, with Raditz pushing himself, needing the power as a want, not as a need, Raditz would then tap into it for just a few short moments. His hair would then turn golden and his eyes blue. Raditz's power level would then skyrocket to levels that he's never felt before. He would then be exhausted, powering back down into base form. Goku would be very impressed, and that they still have a couple more months to keep on practicing this power. As a few months would then pass, Vegeta and Nappa would then arrive. Goku would then arrive at the Rocky Wasteland, as he was not ready to be late this time. The original, the Z Fighters, majority of them died because Goku was late, and he had to run all the way back. Now that Goku's ready, there's no Cybermen, and all the other Z Fighters don't die. And even if they were about to die, Goku would have stopped it. He's too fast. Raditz would then step up to actually fight Vegeta head on, and he would fight both Vegeta and Nappa. Goku tells his son to actually fight Nappa by himself. Gohan would be surprised, but he agrees. Now, how strong are these characters? We're just going to dive into it so all you guys know. So, basically, Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien, they're all similar in power. Maybe about 1,000 in between each other. So the strongest is Tien out of the Earthlings. Tien has a battle power of around 12,000. And Krillin has around 11,000, and Yamcha is 10,000, Chaozu is 9 to 8,000. So already, they can fight Nappa and destroy him already. And they all can use Kaioken, by the way, Kaioken times 2. Now, Piccolo is around 15 to 16, Piccolo's around 16,000. So, Gohan is around 13 to 15,000. He's a little bit weaker than Piccolo, but he's right there. And Gohan is even starting to learn how to use Super Saiyan. He's learning how to use Kaioken. Now with Raditz by this point has gotten the strongest. Since he was further ahead, Raditz has a power level of around 17,000 to 16,000, but he has Super Saiyan. So Raditz around this time would be able to turn into a Super Saiyan. Gohan would then fight Nappa, and he would easily outclass him without the need of Kaioken. Nappa would be easily defeated, as he would then try attacking Gohan with his full power attack. Gohan would then appear behind him, hitting him in the back, breaking his spine. Nappa would then fall down defeated, as Vegeta would then grab him, throwing him in the air. He would then destroy him. Now, this is when Raditz would then battle Vegeta in base form, and he would start to shock the prince with his raw strength. And Vegeta cannot use the fake moon, because if he does, basically Raditz and Gohan, they'll basically turn into a great ape. So what are they going to do? Now, Goku knows that maybe Raditz could turn into a Super Saiyan 4 early, because he does have the Great Ape form, and he also does have a tail. Goku still has his tail, by the way, just to let everybody know. So, Raditz would defeat Vegeta. And now, he could turn into a Super Saiyan as overkill. Vegeta would be spared. Goku would then offer Vegeta to stay. He doesn't need to fight and go survive on his own. Let him stay. Now, Vegeta would actually listen, and he would actually stay on planet Earth, and they would keep an eye on him, keeping him at Capsule Corp. Now, this is when him and Bulma would start to intertwine together, and they'll start to start dating and stuff, and you know how that goes. Goku knows that he needs to go find Frieza. So, Goku would then ask Bulma about the space pods, and he would then take one for his own. Goku wants to go fight somebody pretty mediocrely strong. He'll leave on his own to go fight. He knows that Raditz and everyone else is strong enough to defend Earth while he's gone. And he knows that no one else is going to be getting in the way. So, this is when Goku would then get into the space pod, and he would then fly off to go find Frieza. As Goku would be traveling through space, searching to find Frieza. Now, Goku could use instant transmission, but Frieza was on the other side of the entire universe. He couldn't pinpoint his energy exactly. But once when he got close enough, traveling for the next couple of days, he was able to track onto Frieza's energy. But of course, Goku did not want to leave his spaceship behind, so he held onto it to bring it with him, and he teleports all the way towards Frieza Planet 79. This is when a bunch of Frieza soldiers, his men, his henchmen, and the Ginyu Force were all there. Now, Frieza never went to Planet Namek like the original because they never spoke about the Dragon Balls, but Frieza has never had any intention to go to Namek in the first place. So this would conclude the Namek saga from not even happening. Now, once when Goku would arrive, he would then see the Frieza soldiers would begin questioning the Saiyan, and Goku would tell them that he's looking for Frieza. They would then note that he does have a tail. As Zarbon and Dodoria appear, they were shocked to see that there was another Saiyan alive. They would then bring Goku right to Frieza, and Frieza was interested. This Saiyan was strange. He's never seen a Saiyan like him before. His attitude, the way how he walked, how he spoke, was very different than a Saiyan. And Frieza wonders, some of them must have survived other than Vegeta and Nappa. But now Frieza wonders where Vegeta went. Could this Saiyan might have done something? Goku would then tell Frieza that his reign over the universe has ended today. See, Goku here was not as merciful as he was on Namek. He knows that Frieza would never change, and he knows this. So he would then challenge Frieza. Frieza would then laugh and tell him how foolish he was, but Frieza would humor if he can defeat his men. This is when the Ginyu Force arrived alongside with Dodoria and Zarbon. Dodoria and Zarbon would then fly in to attack Goku at the same time. Goku with then 2 swift elbows would then kill Zarbon and Dodoria. This would make Frieza grip his tail in anger, as then the Ginyu Force would then begin attacking. Of course, Raccoon, Guldo, Jace, and Birder would all attack Goku at the same time. Goku was far too fast. Using his own energy, he would then blast everybody away, teleporting all around them, delivering fatal blows to the neck, knocking them out and killing them. Frieza was in shock. He was able to defeat the Ginyu Force that easily, but he can no longer match Captain Ginyu. As Frieza would then tap his scouter and watch, he would see that the Saiyan must have an ability to be able to suppress his power, as his power level only reads 1,000, but yet he's only able to kill them in a single blow. It spikes to higher levels. Frieza wonders. As Captain Ginyu was interested in Goku's body, he would then tap his scouter and Goku would begin powering up a little bit, instantly blowing past 180,000, which exploded his scouter before, and it would even blow up Frieza's scouter, who blew up after 400,000. Captain Ginyu would then actually try the change now technique, but Goku was too quick, and he had instant transmission. He would then teleport behind Ginyu, and then punch right through his chest, just like Ginyu did to himself. This would then kill Captain Ginyu, as Goku can't take chances with that. Frieza was in shock, but he would then step out of his chair, and he would then tell Captain Ginyu that he was a failure. As Captain Ginyu was dead on the floor anyway, Frieza just rubbing the salt in the wound. Frieza would then look to Goku and state that was very impressive. His battle power went up to 400,000, but it's nothing compared to his. His is 530,000. Goku then tells Frieza that he knows that he has other transformations, and to go into his final form, to go into his full strength. Frieza was shocked with how Goku knew this, but no news to question. Frieza would then laugh as he would then transform into his second form. Goku knows that this is not his actual full strength. He then tells Frieza to hurry up and go into your full form, with maximum power. He knows that Frieza has something stronger than this. Frieza would then try charging in at Goku to stab him with his horns, but his horns would actually shatter upon impact, as Goku was like a brick wall, with a car hitting it. As Frieza was in shock, Frieza would have no choice as he would then go into his fourth form. Now that Frieza was in his fourth form, he would then fire a death beam right at Goku, who Goku would not even dodge the attack. He would just take it right to the chest, and he wasn't even hurt or flinched by it. He would then tell Frieza that he's not going to waste any time on him. He tells Frieza that he came from the future before, and that in his time, he killed Frieza as well. Frieza was nothing more than just a monster who had no care or sympathy for others. He tortured and killed without any mercy. He would then tell Frieza that he will not let him go to Namek or do any harm to anyone. Frieza was confused. Go to Namek? Goku would not waste any time. He knows that Frieza is a wound to the universe, and Goku would then charge in, delivering a powerful gut punch to Frieza, making him spit blood. Frieza would then fly up into the air, and he would then try charging up a death ball to throw right at the planet. Because he knows he can't beat Goku, he might as well take the planet out as well, because the Saiyan can't breathe in outer space. Goku would then appear right in front of Frieza, already having a Kamehameha charged up, and he would then completely incinerate Frieza, killing the Emperor just like that. The tens of thousands of Frieza soldiers were all in shock looking at this. Goku would then look at them and tell them to quit doing their evil deeds and to do good and never do any harm again, or else he will find them. Goku would then focus using instant transmission. He would then bring the ship and him all the way back to planet Earth. Since Goku knows the direction where Earth is, he didn't know where Frieza was because he's never been on that planet before anyway. But now, sensing his friend's power, he would then be able to get back. As it was a very long trip, Goku would then state that Frieza was killed. This would not shock really anybody other than Vegeta and Raditz. They were utterly shocked that Goku was able to beat Frieza and he seemed unharmed. Goku states that, well, now that Frieza is gone, Vegeta, it's time for you to let go of the past. Goku knows Vegeta more than anyone else. They've been friends and basically brothers for a very long time, even going forward in GT, a respectable friend. He would then tell Vegeta to let go of the hatred and to enjoy spending your time on Earth. You have friends here, people you can call allies here, and family, like Bulma. Vegeta would then tell him to shut up, and the fact that you don't tell the Prince of All Saiyans what to do, it did hit deep with Vegeta. Goku would then tell Vegeta that you're not a puppet to Frieza no more. You never were to begin with. You are the Prince of the Saiyans. And I know how strong you can become, Vegeta. If you let me train you, and I can work with you, I will help you unlock Super Saiyan and powers that you never thought you had before. Because I know how strong you can become, Vegeta. I know you can do it. Vegeta's pride was shot already, but he would then agree, as Kakarot was far superior to him. Vegeta will do whatever he can to get stronger. That's what Vegeta will do. Now, over the next couple of months, Goku knows that the androids will be arriving soon. Goku also remembers the heart virus, which he kind of remembers how is he going to handle that. He didn't really think that far yet, but he thinks that if everything goes right, that guy from the future will arrive. Trunks. He knows it too. And he has to bring medicine with him, so Goku will just take the medicine early before he even feels symptoms, because he knows when it happens, he'll take the medicine, he'll be good to go. Now also Goku around this time, maybe he could ask Shenron to remove the heart virus from him. Maybe that'll work. But no, he thinks it won't work because Shenron cannot meddle in with natural death causes. Well, that sucks. He would then begin training with Vegeta. Now, Goku would prioritize spending time with Chi-Chi and mainly training Gohan out of everybody. Goku would even bring Gohan as he would go on sessions almost every single day with Vegeta. Because Bulma had the gravity room, Goku would begin training with Vegeta and Gohan. Though I will say, it was beyond tough. Vegeta and Goku mixing with Gohan kind of basically makes Gohan like a rusty nail. Now, Gohan is still gentle. He's still a gentle soul. He's only a half Saiyan. But Gohan is very disciplined. And Gohan is very similar to future Gohan's mindset. He doesn't want to be a killer fighter. He understands that, but he knows that he needs to be strong. And that he needs to be strong enough to protect his family and friends. Maybe if his father is not around, or he might be the last hope. Gohan here is a bit more mature when it comes to fighting. But this version of Gohan is not going to sit there and take breaks for years around. Though he is able to balance his life out, so he's not a pure fighter. But Gohan doesn't need to be, because his potential is so high anyway, it doesn't matter. So Gohan already has Super Saiyan alongside with Raditz, and very quickly Goku was able to help Vegeta unlock Super Saiyan fast, because Goku knows how Super Saiyan works to a T. And with the help, Goku was able to help them master the forms. Now Raditz would also come by a lot as well, since he needs to grow stronger. Goku would then teach all of them how to master Super Saiyan. Basically, keep your form in Super Saiyan constantly, and you'll become more powerful than you can imagine. Now, Vegeta did figure out about maybe ascending the form, bulking up in size, but Goku would then shoot that down. He would then tell Vegeta that while true, and Goku would then show him, Goku would then turn into his Ultra Super Saiyan form, looking extremely buff and big. Goku then states that, well, this form, unfortunately, has a weakness. He would then shrink back down to normal Mastered Super Saiyan, and he would then tell them that while the form does give you incredible strength, unfortunately, you're very clumbering and you're very slow, and it also takes a lot of energy. It's not a good form. You just rely on strength, but no speed and stamina. The form would not last at all. He would then state that there is another level, a level beyond this version of Super Saiyan, where you're able to keep the strength, but also keep the speed. As by this point, they've already mastered Super Saiyan, as they can hold that form pretty much easily now. Gohan was even easier because of the fact that he's so gentle-hearted, he's able to be very calm in Super Saiyan. Vegeta was the hardest to keep it mastered, but it's Vegeta. With enough dedication, he was able to learn it and learn how to master it, always staying in Super Saiyan. Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan 2. This would then shock everybody, as they never thought that somebody could be this powerful. Goku would then explain all there is to know about Super Saiyan 2, and the fact that you can unlock it with enough hard work and dedication. Now, we know that Super Saiyan 2, to a degree, is really unlocked by using pure rage. Now, we don't know how Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan 2. Maybe you could say that it was rage that made him unlock it, but we don't truly know. But we know that from Trunks' perspective in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, pure rage helped him unlock Super Saiyan 2. Same with Gohan, pure rage helped him unlock Super Saiyan 2 as well. It appears that Super Saiyan 2 also needs to be unlocked by pushing to one's limit, and I believe that the best showcase of this was Cabba. Now, even though Cabba, again, he is a different universe of Saiyan, they're pretty much a mirror of each other. Now, we're not going to talk about Kale and them, and especially Caulifla, how she just turned into a Super Saiyan 2 magically. We're going to ignore that. But Kaba learned it by being pushed to his limit, and by basically going up against life or death. This is what I think Goku would do. Goku would basically tell them that I'm going to come at you and I'm going to kill you. And if you survive, then you will turn into a Super Saiyan 2. If you don't, then you will die. And Goku was being dead serious, because Goku can just go to Namek and wish him back with the Dragon Balls, even though it sounds very deadly and harsh, but he knows he has to do it. So, the first person that would be up, Goku would fight all of them. Raditz, Gohan, and Vegeta. All of them would be in Super Saiyan teaming up against Goku, who was in base form. But Goku would not hold back. He would be brutalizing everybody. He would then be attacking Raditz, Gohan, and Vegeta. Now Goku knows how to push Gohan first, because Gohan is easily angered. Goku would then say things to Gohan, tapping into his rage, telling things about Gohan, let it all go, let all the anger out. Imagine if Frieza came, or that evil Saiyan guy, Nappa, and he killed Chi-Chi. He would then get Gohan so furious, beating Gohan near death. And this would make Gohan snap, turning into a Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. Now Gohan would then attack Goku, and Raditz by this point being pushed, Goku would then meddle with him, basically letting Raditz snap as well, showing that he failed his parents, Bardock and Gine. He failed everybody. Raditz cannot be second hand, as Vegeta has already turned into a Super Saiyan 2 himself, as Vegeta will not become second fiddle. He cannot, as he doesn't see Kakarot as much of a rival, he sees Raditz as a rival. So, Raditz and Vegeta would actually turn and fight on each other. As Goku has already knocked out Gohan peacefully, Raditz and Vegeta were going at it, and those two hated each other. But then, Raditz would feel defeat as Vegeta would overpower him. Raditz would then turn into a Super Saiyan 2, and the tides would then quickly turn as he would overpower the Prince. Raditz would then fire a massive double Sunday, and Vegeta would then use his brand new Final Flash to try and block it. But it was so immense that Vegeta was soon to be overtaken. Vegeta would never go down, as he would then break through his limits once again, turning into a Super Saiyan 2, and it would be a stalemate. Both of them would then pass out due to exhaustion. Goku would then give all of them a sensu bean, and he would paddle their shoulders saying how proud he is of them, other than Vegeta. He would kind of get away from everybody. He would then tell them all that now that you have this form, now you will learn how to control it, just like Super Saiyan was. It will be more difficult, but I know that you all can do it. Vegeta would then state, why are you doing all this, Kakarot? How do you know all these forms? Goku would then tell him honestly, he's been from the future. And Vegeta, I think over time, would be confused. Bulma would even confirm it. Vegeta states, well then what happens to the future then? Goku will not say, because he doesn't want to destroy the future, but he is going to change some things to benefit them, but keep some stuff the same, because he has to. Like he states that Raditz never survived in the future. Raditz died during the first battle he had with him and Piccolo. Vegeta ponders. Vegeta states, well then what? He says, well, we would all go into Namek originally, and you died fighting Frieza. You were brought back to life, but you died. And then you unlock Super Saiyan years later than this. Goku would then explain that there will be androids appearing, but he already knows how to stop this. Goku knows where Dr. Gero's lab is. He remembers the general area. Now, Goku, of course, he wasn't there, but Goku could sense where all of his friends were. He can remember the location where they were at, so he'll start looking in that direction. But for right now, he's going to continue help training them. The months would then go by. We're now a year or two, no, we're pretty much about a year after the Frieza arc. This is when Vegeta and Raditz and Gohan were able to learn how to tap into Super Saiyan 2. Not mastered it, but to learn how to tap into it. Now this is when Trunks would then still appear. Now this version of Trunks is no different than from this original future timeline. This is no what if version of Trunks in this one. Trunks would then still show up. He would be confused as to where Kakarot is or Goku, can't find him. Goku would then appear right next to Trunks. And after explaining, Goku would even explain how he knows everything about Trunks. He would even explain about his situation where he came from the future as well. Trunks would be completely shocked by this, but over time he would understand. Now Goku would then offer to Trunks, telling him that there's a room that they can go into called the Room of Spirit and Time. And if he can just allow Trunks to stay for a few hours, he can help Trunks grow stronger, so Trunks can be able to go back to his future and destroy the androids that are plaguing his time. Trunks would agree, because Goku would explain that one day, 24 hours, is equivalent to 1 year, or 12 hours, is equivalent to 1 year inside the Room of Spirit and Time. Trunks would then agree, actually, and they would then leave, as Goku, remember by this point, once when they are in the Room of Spirit and Time, Goku would start near the end succumbing to the heart virus. Trunks had the medicine though, and Goku knew that this was going to happen. But why did Goku do this? Trunks and Goku did not just stay 1 year, they stayed 2. Trunks decided to stay because he knows that his family and his mother and everyone else will handle the future. He needs to get as strong as possible. Now, within that Room of Spirit and Time for 2 years, it was undestroyably dangerous how hard Goku was pushing Trunks. Goku left with a massive bag of senzu beans. As you guys remember, Yajirobe never ate the whole senzu beans sticking in their sunflower seeds. So they had thousands of them, and Goku made sure that he kept them in a really safe spot. Now, Goku had a large bag of them, at least a couple hundred. In case they get severely injured, they can eat one and recover. This would then give Trunks a lot of Zenkais too, because it recovers everything. So anyway, cutting forward, we are going to be having Goku and Trunks training in there for the first year. During that first year, Goku was able to help Trunks unlock Super Saiyan 2 as well, and Trunks is absurdly strong. Now, during the second later half of the year, Goku did fall to the heart virus. Remember, he was only sick for a few days. Trunks knew this was coming, and Goku could feel the symptoms. Goku took the medicine even earlier, and he wasn't fighting. So, Goku was actually able to recover a few days earlier. Goku was only out of commission for about 2 total days, which is not a very long time, but Goku was. Now, once when Goku fully recovered, Trunks says to hold on to it anyway, as you don't know maybe if it might come back, and you don't know. Now, they would continue their training for the next few months, and Goku would make sure that his skills are sharpened. Now, since they are in the Room of Spirit and Time, Goku would then show Trunks what they can do. He never showed nobody this, but he can do it in here. Trunks during the whole time has saw how strong Goku was. He saw Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, he even saw Super Saiyan 4, and he even saw Goku Super Saiyan 5. And Goku went full power too, showing just how strong he actually was. And this completely bumfuckled his mind, as Trunks had no idea that someone could be that strong. Goku would then tell Trunks that he wants to make sure that he is as strong as possible for when Trunks comes back. So Goku has an idea for Trunks. And he hasn't done it with the other guys yet, but he has an idea. I forgot to mention that before they did actually go, Goku made a wish, and Goku wants to experiment and see how Trunks can manage. Reason for this is because they're in the safest room ever, and also, Trunks never went to a Great Ape, so they don't know how Trunks can handle the form. But he wants to see how he can manage that when they're outside on planet Earth, because he doesn't want them blowing up the planet under his watch. So, Goku would be able to spawn a fake moon, as he can learn this pretty easily. It's Goku. Goku would then throw it into the air, and this would then make Trunks transform into a Great Ape. Now, Goku was in Super Saiyan 4 by this point, so he won't turn into a Great Ape. Already is one. Trunks was now a purplish Great Ape. As he would then scream and stomp around, Goku would then be able to calm Trunks down, and Trunks would then transform into a Golden Uzaru. Looking up at the fake moon, he would be able to channel the power, as this will take time as well, by the way. This did not just take 5 seconds, this will take hours and hours of Goku trying to control Trunks' rage, and Trunks taking hours to even power up. Trunks would finally power down, and he would turn into a Super Saiyan 4. Now, the two would actually spar in this form. Now, how strong is that version of Trunks? This version of Trunks, even before he turned into a Super Saiyan 4, as a Super Saiyan 2, this version of Trunks was already able to throw hands with the likes of Majin Buu and more. And even higher because of the Zenkais that he's getting. He's getting beaten near death, and then he's being eaten the Senzu Bean, getting instantly recovered, getting a Zenkai. Trunks by this point can fight the likes of Super Buu. When he has Super Saiyan 4, he's easily stronger than Vegito, that's not even a question. He's near the levels of the Super Saiyan God. Now, not just up there, but he's very close. he could definitely keep up with the people at GT for sure. Now, he was actually giving Goku a pretty decent fight in base form, but Goku was holding back still a lot. But Goku was very impressed. Trunks is more than strong enough to handle anybody from his timeline, no issue. Trunks would then leave, heading back, and he would think that there's no point coming back, but he'll come back just to make sure that everything's good, and to let them know. He would then leave. Now, once when everybody would then leave, Goku would then show them the next level of their training. Now remember, they were only in there for 2 days, so they still have about a year and a half to continue training, but the androids would arrive. Goku would then showcase Super Saiyan 4. And then this is when Goku would then help them all learn to control Super Saiyan 4 by turning into the Great Ape states, learning to turn into a Super Saiyan, and controlling the power. Now over time, Vegeta was actually the easiest one, because he's not too far from being a Great Ape before. Same with Raditz. So they were actually able to learn how to control Super Saiyan 4 a lot quicker. Now that they have the form, Gohan was actually the one that was the most difficult, but with Raditz and everyone else's help, and even Chi-Chi being there, it would calm Gohan down, and he would then turn into a Super Saiyan 4 himself, being an adult. Now, we know that Super Saiyan 4 will put you into your prime body, which is an adult age. Now, Major Dragon, why is everybody a Super Saiyan 4? This is really early. We're not even in the Cell Saga yet. Why wouldn't they be? Think about it. Goku knows that Super Saiyan 3 is a useless transformation. They already have Super Saiyan 2. You can never doubt the potential that they have. Goku's a master of all these forms. And with the tail, they can learn mastery much quicker. The next form would be Super Saiyan 4. And Goku knows how to do it. And with Vegeta and Raditz being the easiest ones, they already know how to control their Great Ape form. So they don't need to lose control like how Gohan would. So Gohan was the only troublesome one. But now look at how strong they all are. Now Goku, with the help of Bulma, would actually be able to find Dr. Gero's lab. Now Goku's not wasting time on that. He knows that there's androids 17 and 18. And he knows that they're not as evil as their counterparts are. So Goku would actually go into the lab. He would then destroy it, destroying everything. Now Dr. Gero was in there working on them, and he was mainly working on a new creation, but it was destroyed. And also Android 19 was killed too. Goku would then let the 3 androids out, Android 16, 17, and 18. Now they would try attacking Goku, but he would easily defeat them. And he would then tell them to stop fighting, and that they don't need to continue just following Dr. Gero's orders. Or would this actually happen? In my scenario, which Goku would be smarter than this, I don't think that Goku would just open up the hatch and then let the androids out, because he knows that they're going to kill him, or they could also self-destruct because they have a bomb in their chest. He would then have Bulma take them to Capsule Corp, and she would then reprogram them, freeing them of the evil control, especially Android 16, which was the most coded one, but it's Bulma, she can figure anything out. Now that the androids are then reprogrammed, they would have no hostile take towards Goku. They would then be free to do whatever they wish. Android 16 would actually stick around, kind of being like a bodyguard in a way, kind of Capsule Corp, but he loved seeing the nature and he loved people. Android 17 and 18 would then go do what they want to do. Android 18 will still hook up with Krillin, and Android 17 will still be around, but he's more of a park ranger. So he would actually be out near Goku's home, near Mount Pauzu, where he would then guard the animals and just kind of be like a ranger. As then, that would end the Android saga was over pretty quickly. What about Cell? Now, Cell, this version of Cell that we know, is from the future timeline. He went back. So this also means that the version of Cell is not overly overpowered, and even if they did take DNA from Goku, they would not be able to measure the amount of strength that Goku had. He was always holding back. The only time he went full power was during the hyperbolic time chamber with Trunks. That was the only other time. Now, I will cut forward to when Cell does appear. Of course, Cell is going to be in for an interesting time, as he sees that his androids are alive, but he would not be able to absorb them, because Goku knows that's where Cell is and where he will strike. Once when arriving, he would then find Cell, and Cell would try attacking Goku. Goku would easily handle Cell, easily throwing him into the air and completely obliterating him, wiping out every single cell off the face of the planet. Now, you do want to put L in the chat for Cell because it is really bad, but unfortunately, Cell just has no chance against Goku. Goku knows where Cell was going to be, knows how he is, knows that if he takes the other 2 androids, he'll become perfect. But even if he became perfect, even beings like Gohan, Vegeta, and Raditz would literally curb stomp Cell and make him cry, because they are so absurdly strong. Now, Goku would continue training his other friends too. Now, his friends have actually taken Kaioken very well. Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien. Mainly Krillin and Tien. Yamcha's starting to fall back a little bit. He's doing more of the baseball career that we know of. Now, Krillin and Tien would actually push Kaioken, being able to master it. They're able to hold Kaioken without it destroying their body. It does still take their stamina, but it does not destroy the body. And with Krillin and Tien, they would then prepare to go to a World Martial Arts tournament, as Goku has an idea. He wants all of his friends to go to a tournament, and they can all fight each other. Now, the tournament, what I'm stealing it from, will be the same as from the BoJack movie. If you guys know, they had the strongest fighters in the world meet up and fight. I'm just taking the scene from the movie. Now, Trunks would actually come back from the future and tell them that everything was clear and everything's good to go. Trunks would then actually join in, and the fights would be legendary. You would have Tien versus Piccolo for round 2, if you guys remember this. Now, Tien would actually be able to defeat Piccolo. Now, Piccolo by this point has fused with Kami once again, becoming one, making him very strong. And Tien would then showcase Super Kaioken as he was able to tap into it. This would then give him, instead of a 20 times multiplier, it would give him a 50 times multiplier to Kaioken, but it does destroy the stamina over time. Now, with Tien splitting himself apart, attacking Piccolo, Piccolo would then use his, of course, Hell Zone grenade, hitting the other versions of Tien, but it was all a ruse. Tien would then have his Neo Tri-Beam, and he would then hit Piccolo with full force, and he would then push the Kaioken technique, go Kaioken times 60. It would then hit Piccolo, destroying the ring in a massive triangle shape, and Piccolo is knocked out, and he was pretty wounded, but Piccolo was really impressed. He was shocked at how strong Tien was, and Tien got the jump on Piccolo. Now, this is when Krillin would then try fighting Gohan. Now, Krillin would then actually push the Kaioken all the way up to Kaioken times 50, just like how Tien was, and he would use a solar flare, blinding Gohan. He would then use the Destructo Disc. Now, mind you, Destructo Disc is deadly, but Goku would then remember Gohan's training to focus, to not rely on every single sense. Sometimes he has to rely on other ones. Gohan would then focus, and he would then disappear behind Krillin. He was still blinded. He would then kick Krillin with enough force to knock him out of the ring, but Krillin was very respectable here, and also going against the version of Gohan. Gohan had to go into Super Saiyan to be able to fight that version of Krillin, which is very respectable. Now, cutting forward, there's no BoJack, by the way. I'm just taking the scene in the fighting arena from the movie. Now, we're going to be cutting forward to when we're going to get the fun fights. This is when Trunks would then actually fight Vegeta. Now, this would be interesting. Trunks has had 2 years to train in this form. So, Trunks would then power up into a Super Saiyan, Vegeta did the same, father and son would then fight each other. It was a very intense battle, but Trunks was actually showing to be a little bit stronger than Vegeta, but Vegeta was more ferocious. He's been training in gravity non-stop since then. Now, Vegeta would then skip it and turn into a Super Saiyan 4. Vegeta was shocked that Trunks could do the same thing, but not too far off. It's his son. The two Super Saiyan 4s would then clash, shaking the whole planet as Goku was smiling watching. They were truly incredible strength. As it was pretty close who was actually going to win. Trunks would then fire up his burning attack, firing it at Vegeta. Vegeta would then disappear as he then charged up his final flash. Goku was worried because that was a lot of energy, it could kill Trunks. Trunks would then tank the blast full force. Everybody was shocked to see that Trunks was alive, but he was badly wounded. Vegeta would then land on his knees as well, as he had no energy left, and he would then revert back to his base form, and Trunks was badly wounded. Trunks would still continue trying to fight his father, but Vegeta had enough strength to grab Trunks and throw him off of the arena. But if Trunks had not been hit by that blast, he could have potentially defeated Vegeta for sure. Vegeta used up all of his energy to hit Trunks with that attack, just to defeat his son. It goes to show you that Trunks is no joke, and if Trunks had his sword, it would be even cooler too. Fun. This is when we're going to have Raditz fighting Goku. Goku has entered the arena, and he wants to see how all of them do. Now, we're also going to cut forward to Goku knowing about the fusion technique, but he's saving that one for later. There's no need for it. Goku would then fight Raditz respectfully, and he was amazed by how strong his brother has gotten. The two have grown a lot closer over the years, and they definitely do see each other as brothers. Fortunately, even though Raditz would tap into Super Saiyan 4, battling Son Goku, Goku would then use Super Saiyan just for overkill, and he would then knock out Raditz out of the ring. Final matchup, but Goku would disqualify himself by dropping out. He wants to see this. He wants to see his son Gohan fighting Vegeta. Now that this all dropped out, it'll be Vegeta and Gohan who's the next higher up contestants to fight for first place. Gohan would then become an adult, transforming into a Super Saiyan. They would then battle Vegeta. Now Vegeta was back at full strength thanks to a Senzu Bean, and the fight would be intense. Gohan was pushing Vegeta as Vegeta was doing the same. Gohan does not have the same ferocity that Vegeta has and less experience, but he does have more raw strength. Vegeta would have no choice, as Gohan would then charge up a Masenko. Vegeta would then charge up another Final Flash, firing it right at Gohan. He knows he has to end the fight now. This is when Gohan would then drop the Masenko and then charge up a Kamehameha, firing it at Vegeta. But this time, Gohan would state Kaioken times 2 in Super Saiyan 4. This would then shock Goku, as he remembers that he taught Gohan Kaioken before, but he doesn't think that Gohan should do that, as Super Saiyan 4 is not meant to have Kaioken. And this would then burn his massive aura, and it would then blow Vegeta into the sky. Gohan would then fall as his body was completely wrecked from Kaioken, as his body was basically twitching and spasming like crazy. Gohan nearly died doing that attack. He knows he couldn't do that again. Vegeta was knocked out of the ring and he was defeated by Gohan. Goku would quickly fly in, giving Gohan a Senzu Bean. Same with Vegeta. Vegeta was furious on how he lost, but he understands that Kaioken almost killed him. He actually gives Gohan his respect, but he states that next time, that Kaioken's not going to save him. Vegeta would then fly off as he lost the tournament anyway. Everything would be brought back to peace. Goku knows that Babidi will be appearing soon within the next 7 or so years, but he knows that they'll be more than ready to handle Majin Buu when he appears. After the tournament was finished, they would then go into relaxation because Goku knows that the androids will soon be arriving. He also does know about the heart virus, but he hasn't felt any symptoms just yet. But he remembers that as soon as he fought that one fatter white android, it did start taking effect. I believe his name is Android 19, and that Dr. Gero guy. Goku's going to take note of it, and he actually has the heart virus medicine with him when they do arrive at the same spot that they were at before in the original timeline. Now the two androids would still appear, Dr. Gero and Android 19. Now the Earthlings and Saiyans are more than ready to fight these androids. Now these androids are a lot stronger than their original selves, but you have to understand that Dr. Gero can only push technology so far. They do have data on the recent times, and maybe they would have it for Super Saiyan 4, but I don't think so. Because if you guys remember, they only took the DNA stuff from the Saiyan Saga and from the Frieza arc. So they only really have that. And even if that's the case, they wouldn't have Frieza anyways. Frieza never showed up to planet Earth. So the androids in reality, true they might be stronger basing off of Goku's power, but they haven't seen the latest like Super Saiyan 4 and more for the lesser androids. So unfortunately, once when they do show up, Goku would start feeling the symptoms. He would feel it slightly, the shortness of breath. Goku would immediately fly off on his own, back to Kami's house so he can start taking the medicine early. Now Yamcha would follow with him just to make sure that he's okay. As of course Vegeta, Trunks, and Gohan. Trunks has came back from his time as now he's ready. Now Trunks has also went back to his timeline and he took care of the androids by himself, no issue. Now he doesn't know about Cell yet, so Cell has not attacked him, so we're going to get to that in a little bit. Now going back, Trunks here is ready. And Trunks knows that they didn't really need his help, but you never know. The androids should be stronger, just to be safe. Timeline has changed a lot. But cutting forward, Android 19 would try attacking, as Vegeta's going to step up first. He wants to destroy these two androids and call it a day. He's bored. Vegeta would then turn into a Super Saiyan, as he would easily overpower Android 19. Fortunately, that android has no chance against this version of Vegeta. It does have the energy stealing abilities, which it would take some of Vegeta's power, but it wouldn't be enough, as Vegeta would basically give it the same treatment like he did in the original timeline, ripping its arms off and then destroying it, leaving its head remaining as he stomped on it. Now Dr. Gero would be terrified as he would then try and escape. Now Goku would then tell everybody about how he knows that Dr. Gero would try to escape and go to his lab. Goku already told everybody about this plan. And why is this? It's because Goku and Bulma already have a good idea of where the lab is. Bulma was working on it the most. Goku was making sure that everybody was ready to go. Bulma, right now, while the androids are distracted, she is actually going into Dr. Gero's lab as they speak. So Vegeta would then appear in front of Dr. Gero and kind of hold him off until Bulma was done. Now, Raditz would be there and he would kind of be the extra eyes to make sure, as the other Earthlings would then be with Bulma, and it was Krillin and Tien. Now, it was Piccolo, Gohan, Raditz, and Vegeta they were fighting these androids, and Goku originally, but he had to leave because the heart virus hit him. Now, Bulma was already in the lab as Piccolo blasted away through. Now, Bulma would then go to the computer and she sees a Project Cell. She doesn't know what it is, but she'll take it for now anyway. She would then reprogram these androids, as she can easily upload all the data to her own. This is when Piccolo, alongside the others, they would then all be continuing to distract everyone. Now, cutting forward, Bulma would then leave with the android pods, as they're not activated yet. She's going to reprogram them so they're not attacking Goku and Crazy. There were still androids 16, 17, and 18. Now back at Capsule Corp, Dr. Gero would basically escape. Now how is this? Is because he would trick Vegeta. Remember, the Saiyans cannot sense the android's energy, but it's undetectable. He would then use dust to get away just in time. Barely escaping, he would then arrive at his lab, but only see that there was no one there. The androids were gone. His machines were gone. His special creation was gone. He doesn't understand. How is this possible? And then Vegeta was right there at the doorstep, telling him that there's no escape now. Your androids were taken by the woman all the way to Capsule Corp. When Vegeta would then hold out his hand and say Big Bang Attack, and it would cause a massive explosion, destroying the entire area, and Dr. Gero was killed. Now, Goku was back at Capsule Corp alongside with everyone else. Now, he was in bed, but the effects were not as severe, because he didn't turn Super Saiyan to fight it, and it didn't make it worse. So he took the medicine early, and he'll begin recovering over the next few days. Now, Bulma would reprogram the androids completely, letting them have their own free thought and not be as chaotic and evil. Now, the androids were already not evil in the original already, as they were different from their future timeline self. Now, Android 16, all they had to do was just reprogram all of them, removing the following order directive and to also kill pretty much everybody. They changed that. But once when Android 17 and 18 were brought back up, same with Android 16, they didn't want to attack nobody, they didn't want to cause any problems, they just wanted to be left alone to try and figure things out. And Bulma promised them that, as long as they promised to not attack and hurt people, which they agreed. As Android 18 goes off on her own, same as 17, Android 16 would just stick around randomly wandering, as he would actually become really good friends with Gohan. He likes Gohan, he's very gentle, and they love nature together. So the androids will cause a peak. This drastically changes the story, as we know. Z-Fighters cannot get folded by the androids, and what about Cell? Well, it's going to be the original Cell from the original future other timeline Cell, if you understand what I mean. The Cell's not going to be any different. He's still going to show up, because he came from a different timeline to where he killed Trunks, took his time machine, and went back to the past to wait it out. It's a weird timeline fix. But now, once when Cell fully molts into his first form, he would then still lay waste to the city. Now, Piccolo knew about Cell, and he was waiting for it. Now, Piccolo by this point has already fused back with Kami. So Piccolo is the sole keeper of the Dragon Balls, and he's also a lot stronger. Now, just in case, Gohan would then come alongside with him. Now, this is when Piccolo and Gohan would then find Cell. Piccolo would then battle Cell by himself, as Cell was a very interesting creature, but Goku would then explain a lot about him, stating Cell can regenerate as long as there's a single cell remaining, and he's absurdly strong. He can never absorb the androids. If he does, he becomes perfected. This is when Gohan would then watch, but he was ready to interject in case Piccolo needs help. Piccolo would then charge up his power, and he would then activate Kaioken times 2. Piccolo would then fly in and deliver a powerful kick to Cell. Piccolo would then use his Demon Hellzone grenade, firing grenades all around Cell, making a massive explosion. Cell was then in almost holes all around his body. Piccolo would then hold his hand out, telling him to go to hell. He would then fire a massive blast using everything he had, completely incinerated Cell. Unfortunately, Cell had no chance against this version of Piccolo, but Piccolo went overkill just to be sure, as he wanted to be sure that he was definitely dead. So now that we are cutting forward now that Cell was destroyed, this drastically changes the Cell timeline. It was already finished. Now, a few days later, Goku would fully recover from the heart virus, as Trunks would then make his leave knowing that Goku was alright. He would then go to his timeline, and he would still fight the Cell from his, before Cell could kill him and take his time machine. This would then change his timeline too. Since, as we know, we're going to cut back over to Trunks. So since that Trunks just killed Cell with little effort, he can turn Super Saiyan and obliterate Cell no different than he would if he turned Super Saiyan 4. Now, a couple of years later, what we know, the world was finally rebuilding itself. Trunks here would still meet the Supreme Kai and Kibito Kai, who would then tell him all about Babidi. Now, this is when Trunks would then meet up with them and go help to fight Babidi. He would still do the Kai training where he would showcase Super Saiyan 1, 2, and even Super Saiyan 4. Now, they would still use the Z-Sword as, let me explain. The reason why they trained Trunks to begin with is because Trunks originally was not strong enough to pull the Z-Sword out. But Trunks is way strong enough. Even in Super Saiyan, he can pull the Z-Sword out in one motion. But Trunks did that. That means that they would still test the sword. If you guys have played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, know that they were just about to use the sword on Ketchin, which is the strongest metal in the universe, and actually follow the canon story to where they broke the Z-Sword and Elder Kai would come out. But they didn't do that because this is when Boo and them would then make their move. While being a few days early, Trunks did not do any of the training. So they would still test the material out, and it would then break the Z-Sword, bringing out Elder Kai. Now, Elder Kai would offer to unlock Trunks' latent potential. And he explains that it might not be as strong as that Super Saiyan 3? Is it Super Saiyan 3? But Trunks would cut him off saying, no, it's Super Saiyan 4. He skipped the transformation since it's not very good on energy. He would then explain that, well, this power would just unlock his latent potential, maybe make his Super Saiyan 4 form even stronger. They have time, as remember Trunks is a few days early. So for the next 20 plus hours, he would then dance around Trunks doing the ritual. Trunks can even go into the Mystic form, which Trunks was shocked with how strong it made him. Now this power-up was around the same strength as a Super Saiyan 4, as it didn't have any drawbacks at all. Trunks actually didn't mind it, as it was a really good other option than Super Saiyan 4 in case things went sour. But now Trunks wonders, can he access this while going into a Super Saiyan 4 state? Because his Super Saiyan 4 state is a natural primitive state for him. As the Elder Kai thinks about it, things technically you can. So Trunks here is going to increase his power even more. As you guys remember, Super Saiyan 4 is practically a part of the Saiyan. It's the perfect form. It's pretty much your natural Saiyan state. So Trunks would then turn Super Saiyan 4 and activate the Mystic power within him, thus becoming Mystic Super Saiyan 4, and Trunks is absurdly powerful. Even if Babidi and Deborah did appear, Trunks in Super Saiyan, and probably in technically base form if you wanted to, Trunks in base form can even match Deborah and defeat him. Super Saiyan 1 and 2 and further is overkill. Deborah would have been sliced in half, no issue. Now, Babidi would have been killed, and they would have taken Majin Buu's egg and go hid it away for the time being. Trunks would then go back to protecting and guarding his world. Now, the Goku Black Arc, we'll get to that one later. Now, cutting back, it's been 7 years since Peace. Now, this is when Goku knows that Majin Buu would still appear during the World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, Vegeta was looking to have a rematch with Goku, but his main rival is Raditz on him. But Goku's still a perfect goal to try to surpass because Goku's number 1. Vegeta does not like being second or third. Now, this is when the Supreme Kai would appear, and Goku would then meet up with him and tell him that he knows that he's here for Majin Buu, which would then shock the Supreme Kai. Goku would then state that he'll go and he'll help the Supreme Kai stop Majin Buu. Now, once when they would leave, the others would follow, of course. Vegeta, Raditz, Piccolo, Gohan, and all the other Z fighters would then follow, Krillin and others. They would all leave, going to go see what's going on. Forward, this is when they arrive at Babidi's ship, and this is when they would then go through the different levels of Babidi's ship. Now, Vegeta would handle Pui Pui and Yakan by himself. Babidi's getting scared since they can't even read some of these beings' power levels, it's so high, or the energy read. It's so absurdly high, it's ridiculous. Now, this is when he would try corrupting Raditz and Vegeta's mind, and even Piccolo. Remember, these 3 beings have small tainted hearts. They have done evil deeds before. They would all wreathe in agony, but Piccolo and Raditz would overpower it. Vegeta, on the other hand, Vegeta would allow himself to be taken over by the Majin. But why would Vegeta do this? It's because Vegeta does not, number 1, he's surpassed by Gohan and Raditz. He wants to become the strongest Apex Saiyan that there is. And he saw that the Majin abilities made them stronger. And he doesn't know if he can beat Kakarot. He doesn't really even care. He's just tired of being so weak. He's tired of being the weakest Saiyan he feels. Now that Vegeta is in Majin form, Goku would then tell them that he will handle Vegeta. Then Raditz would then cut him off, as Raditz would then state, no, he'll fight him. But then Gohan state, no, I'll fight him, Dad. Vegeta would then tell any of them that, listen, I'll fight any of you at the same time, I don't care, as Vegeta's in Majin Super Saiyan 4. Now this is when Raditz and Vegeta would then fly off to go have their match. Goku knows that he's not going to stop it. Gohan would then interject to go. Goku would state, no, I need you to fight Deborah for me. But watch out, he does have spit that can turn you into stone, so do not get hit by it. Gohan agrees, he'll go fight Deborah and easily outclass him. Now this is when they do arrive. Goku would then kill Babidi before he even has a chance, as they're already on the outside of his ship. Now, Supreme Kai wasn't glad, as he states, well, other than Vegeta and Deborah, we can basically go seal Majin Buu away. Goku would then put his hand on the machine that would revive Buu, and he would then give it enough power to revive Majin Buu. This would shock the Supreme Kai. He would scream at Goku, telling him, what did he just do? As then they felt a massive power arrive. Fat Buu was then born. As tells Goku, why did you do this? You just revived him. Goku explains that he might not believe him, but Majin Buu's actually a good guy. And a part of him gets reincarnated into somebody even better, his successor. Supreme Kai doesn't understand. As cutting forward, Vegeta and Raditz's fight is intense. The two were trading blows back and forth. Now they stopped feeling a high power. It was beneath them, of course. They would then continue their match. As Raditz was pretty much dead even with Vegeta, it was basically a back and forth battle as they were continuing to combat it. Now Gohan would then fly off to go stop Raditz and Vegeta fighting, but he would not interject and wait. As he doesn't want Vegeta to kill him, Raditz would then break through Vegeta as he would then activate Kaioken, nearly destroying his body doing this, and he would then deliver a powerful gut punch to Vegeta, making him transform out of Super Saiyan 4. Both of them would then fall over in base form, being a complete draw. Vegeta would then punch the ground, almost crying, stating how no matter what he does, he can just never be strong enough. This is when Gohan would then land, and Gohan would tell him, Vegeta, you are strong enough. You're a proud Saiyan warrior. We're all stronger because we are together. There's nothing wrong with being equal. And somebody stronger just gives you a goal to become stronger. Look at my father. If it wasn't for my father sparing your life and him being such a large goal to surpass, how strong would you be now? Would you even be alive by then? This hit Vegeta like a sack of bricks, as Raditz would then tell him, saying, look, you have a family, you have a child and a wife. Don't. Please, you have friends. You have a beautiful home. Don't ruin it all just for pride. Bear your strength. I had to learn this myself. Vegeta would then get up, as he would begin yelling in anger, as Vegeta, by his own pride, would basically destroy the corruption that was in his heart, moving the M symbol in the Majin scroll. This goes to show you how high his pride was. As Vegeta would then apologize for what he did, they understand. They would then all go back, seeing Goku shaking Buu's hand, being best friends with him. But now Goku knows that Majin Buu is not perfect, that there's a lot of evil in his heart. That needs to be split before bad things happen. They would then use Shenron, and what they would do is they would then separate all the evil and destroy it in Buu's heart. So evil Buu would not be there in person, but they would remove it. Unfortunately, Shenron can't do that. He states that while true, he could, but the power within him is too strong. Kid Buu is way too powerful for him, or evil Buu. Goku would then allow Buu purposely absorb Goku. He would use a ki shield, by the way, to go into Buu's body and remove evil Buu. This would then make Buu spit them out, as Fat Buu was normal. He just lost half of his power though, as now with evil Buu there, Goku would then extend his hand out, and he would then make a promise while Shenron was there. He'd then explain that he hopes that he comes back as somebody good one day, knowing that King Yemma was hearing it. And he would then completely obliterate evil Buu while he was still in the cocoon. Now that peace is finally restored and the Majin Buu arc was really cut like 1/3, they would then be in peace. Now this is where our story is going to take the biggest turn. Goku is expecting things such as the baby saga, Super Android 17, Shadow Dragons. But no, this story is going to take a different turn. Instead of following the GT timeline, a certain purple cat is live, and he just woke up from a nice, long nap. This is Lord Beerus, the god of destruction. He sensed a lot of powers during his slumber, and it really stirred him a lot, kind of irritated him. But he thought maybe he was just sensing Whis, or maybe, I don't know, something. He doesn't know. Maybe he was just going crazy again. He would then wake up and eat his breakfast like normal. Whis would be around him, and Beerus would then explain what's going on about that planet Vegeta, whatever it was. Whis would then tell him the whole story. Whis was a little bit nervous, and he would explain that there's a mortal that actually might be stronger than you. This would make Beerus spit out his food. He would tell him that that's impossible. The strongest person in that universe was Frieza. He was nothing compared to me. How was somebody beat Frieza? Whis would then explain, yes, my lord. A Saiyan, years ago, defeated Frieza. Whis would then showcase his staff, as he would then showcase all the forms that Goku went through. Now, the main one is Super Saiyan 4, saying that they have a power to be able to transform to these other states. And they've never, and Whis has stated himself that he's never seen a mortal possess such raw energy without even having God Ki. It's extraordinary. Now, Beerus was interested. He wants to go where they are right now. They would then head right towards Earth. It was still Bulma's 38th birthday party. Everybody was having a great time. Now, Goku would then feel something. This kind of pressure. A pressure that he's never felt before. Now, Goku was not training on King Kai's at this time, just because he wasn't for plot reasons. This is when Beerus would then arrive. Goku's never seen a being like this before. But the pressure from him is something godlike. Never felt it. He's never felt this kind of pressure from Omega Shenron. Nothing. Just from looking at him. There was somebody else next to him who was full of mystery. He couldn't even sense his power or feel any pressure from that weird blue guy at all. Whis. Beerus would then introduce himself, and he was excited to meet Goku. It was said that this is the Saiyan that is as strong as a god of destruction. Beerus would then walk around Goku, lifting his arm, inspecting him, stating who he is and why he's here. He had a premonition of a Super Saiyan god, of a mortal that can fight the god of destruction, as Vegeta was petrified. Now, Vegeta would then explain who he is, and he remembers him. Goku fired up. He never knew a being like this ever existed. Well, before they would even fight, Bulma was half drunk, and she would then walk up to them, telling them, hey, why don't you come enjoy the party first before you do any crazy fighting? And Beerus' stomach rumbled as he could smell the food. He says, well, it doesn't sound too bad. Saiyans haven't eaten yet. They haven't eaten all day. You know what that means. As they would enjoy a massive buffet, Beerus and Whis were in heaven, literally, as they were stuffing their mouths full of food, having a great time, actually. Once when that was all done, though, cutting forward, Whis would then make a massive barrier, at least a few miles long and wide. So they have plenty of room to stretch their limbs and fight however they wish. Whis even took a few chunks of the planet, not massive pieces. There's only a couple, like, quarter mile size. Anyway, and he would then throw them around in the arena so they can stand on things and fight. Now, Whis uses his own power to make sure it won't break, so there will be no issues. Now, Goku's been waiting for this. Now, would Vegeta want to jump in and fight? Probably, but he's also scared, and he doesn't want to do that. He'll just let Kakarot handle that. He doesn't want to get smoked. Goku was actually excited, and then he would then charge right in at base form and hit Beerus full force. Beerus was shocked that the Saiyan's base power was this strong. Now, how strong is this version of Goku? Everyone wants to know. This version of AF Goku is far stronger than Super Saiyan God, and he's near the Tournament of Power levels just in base form. Now, this version of Beerus is not from the anime version, from the manga version, which is absurdly more powerful, and we haven't even seen his limit yet. Fighting with Beerus, Beerus would then tell the Saiyan to go all out. He wants to see his true power. Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan 4, as no one has seen Super Saiyan 5, by the way. Only Trunks has seen it in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Beerus was that shocked that this mortal possesses primitive power, but had no God Ki. How was this possible? Beerus would then charge up and use almost his full strength. as he would then charge in at Goku and the two began trading blows back and forth. The power was shaking the entire barrier. Luckily, Whis' power was way more than enough to hold it. Whis was shocked that Immortal was this strong, and people were shocked seeing that this cat god was able to actually fight Goku head on. Goku was having the thrill of life. For the first time, think about this, for the first time in 30 to 40 plus years, even more actually, because he's been dead for 10 in the AF story, he was able to actually have a true fight and push his limits before. Goku would thank Beerus, would use the full power of Super Saiyan 4, blocking Beerus right in the stomach, which would make the god spit blood, would then deliver Hakai Ball, hitting Goku. Now Goku was not prepared for this attack, and it would have destroyed anybody else, but Goku was strong enough to survive. But it did a real heck of damage on Goku, destroying his G and everything else. Goku would then spit some blood, as he doesn't even remember the last time that he bled. This is almost too much for Goku. Remember, he's never had a true challenge until he fought someone like Beerus to actually go all out before. Now Beerus was already at near full strength anyway. Beerus would then begin using Ultra Ego, technique of the gods. He would then start to overpower Goku very quickly. First time that Goku has been overpowered before, as just to prevent it, as the shockwaves were so strong that it was rippling just a short above Earth, which was causing problems. Whis would then bring it outside into space, making sure that there's no damage to delicious food down below. As he increased his power on the barrier, as now that barrier is unpenetrable and the shockwaves will stay inside. Now Goku would then jump around the boulders that were left, and he would then hit Beerus with everything he had, using the Dragon Fist. But then Beerus caught his fist. Beerus would then explain that he's never met a mortal that strong. Beerus explains that he's one of the top 3 strongest gods of all the 12 universes, and this Saiyan is actually equal to him is incredible. Beerus would then showcase Ultra Instinct. Now we know that Beerus can use this, as he used it before, just an almost temporary version of it. Now Beerus would then mix this with his true God of Destruction form. Popo showcased this, and we believe that the other gods of destruction can have it. Now at full strength, Goku was now on the losing end. Beerus would then tell the Saiyan that if that is your full strength, you will never defeat me. This is when Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan 5. This would then elevate his power to be a dead even equal to Beerus, if not stronger. Goku would then clash with Beerus, throwing blows back and forth, as it was shocking to Whis just how strong this Saiyan can become. Are there any more forms that he does have? Beerus would then use everything he had in this final attack, firing a gigantic planet-sized Hakai Ball right at Goku. Goku would then charge up a red Kamehameha called times 10. He would then fire it full force, fighting against the attack. The Hakai Ball would then engulf Goku. Now remember, Goku's never felt this kind of power before. This is a whole new world to him. This would kill anybody else. Goku would then use every ounce of strength that he had to not be completely erased from it, and he would then destroy the Hakai Ball. Goku was in base form, as he was completely exhausted. Same with Beerus, as it was a draw. But if Beerus had not fired that attack, Goku would have potentially defeated him, as his strength was too much for Beerus. Beerus was lucky because his Hakai energy was something that Goku was not used to, because he doesn't have God Ki. Now that the fight was done, Whis would then clap as he was praising the Saiyan on how strong he was. He's never been immortal. He would be a perfect candidate for a god of destruction if Beerus ever kicks the bucket. Goku would then laugh and say, nah, he's not interested, which was a big shame. It would then fly back down, and after being healed by Whis instantly, Beerus would then state his leave, but he's interested in the Saiyan for sure. He tells the Saiyan that if he ever possessed God Ki, he would be something else. Now, Beerus would not offer him to go to his world to train, because that Saiyan nearly beat him and he doesn't want to lose. Now, funny enough, Whis would have the biggest interest. He wants to see how strong this mortal can become. Maybe train him to become a god of destruction. Now, he would then offer the Saiyan later on, as Beerus is already back to sleep. That fight took a lot out of him. Whis would then come back after a few short weeks. Of course, eating the food that Bulma made, he would then offer the Saiyan to come train with him. Now, of course, Raditz and Vegeta are coming, because they're not going to get left behind. So, the three of them would then leave. Gohan would then stay because he found out that Videl was pregnant. He's not leaving. and also make sure that the Earth is safe with him and Piccolo. Now that everything is a bit more peaceful, now, hold on, wait a minute. Dragon, we're missing one very important person. How about Goten? Goten is still born, and I didn't really speak about him because he didn't really change the story much. Now, Goku is training him and continuing. Goten can turn Super Saiyan, and he's touching the realm of Super Saiyan 2. But yeah, Goten didn't really have much of a change to the story. Same with Trunks, who's a kid, and they're about equal footing. So that doesn't really change much. Just so everybody knows. Now, cutting forward over the next 2 to 3 years, Saiyans will begin training. But now, of course, Goku's fought Whis before, and he was completely outclassed. Albeit, though, he was really strong, almost as strong as Beerus, but Whis proved a point. He told him to go into his full strength again. Whis then made a sphere, and he wants to prove why God Ki is so important. Goku would then turn Super Saiyan 5 and attack Whis with everything he had. Whis would then state that your power is all over the place. While it's so powerful, it's still not controlled. It's like an overflowing river. He would then appear behind the Saiyan and then neck chop him, which would knock him out cold. Now, Beerus was watching as he was really pissed off that Whis kind of brought these Saiyans here, but he's not going to say nothing. Now, Beerus is continuing his training on the side, but we're going to get to that one later. Now, Vegeta and Raditz would learn to unlock God Ki, same with Goku. Now, after learning this, they would then have access to Super Saiyan God, and over time, they would then have access to Super Saiyan Blue. Now, Goku in Super Saiyan Blue is stronger than he was as a Super Saiyan 5 by far. This means that he's stronger than Beerus, so Goku is top 2 to top 1 of the strongest being other than angels and the Grand Priest so far. Now we're going to cut forward to the Universe 6 arc, which in the Universe 6 arc, this is where some changes are going to occur because they're so strong. Vegeta would probably have a little bit of trouble against Hit at first, only because they're not used to Hit's ability. But remember, Vegeta and them, they're around the same strength as Jiren by this point, because in Super Saiyan 4, they were already Super Saiyan God level before even training under anything. They're absurdly strong. Now that they've trained and got Super Saiyan Blue by this point, yeah, it's pretty busted. Now we're going to cut forward as Hit was defeated alongside with everybody else. Now cutting forward, what about the Goku Black arc? Now I feel like with Goku Black, when Zamasu would meet Goku, I feel like the difference here is that he would see that Goku is not a normal being. And Beerus would even say that this mortal is even stronger than I am, as Zamasu and them, they can sense that Goku's not normal. His energy is that of a deity. And here's why. Because Goku still fused to Shenron, and he still has the dragon energy that is within him, but he just doesn't know that. As, remember, they gave him a second chance to go back, but he's still connected to the dragon. But they can sense that, so Zamasu wouldn't have as much hate towards Goku, even though he is quote-unquote immortal, in a way, but it wouldn't really change the story much. And even if Goku Black did appear, it would be from the same timeline, as he would not be able to swap the bodies with Goku like that, and this is a what-if Goku. There's not duplicate version. So Goku Black would have been easily defeated by Vegeta, and even Trunks would actually be able to defeat Goku Black on his own. Especially with Super Saiyan 4 and Mystic, Goku Black has no chance. He would have died to Trunks. Trunks would have cut him right in half. Or Goku Black could even get stronger. And even if Zamasu did wish for immortality, Goku still met Zeno and became best friends with him. He would have still wished for Zeno to erase Zamasu, which would then destroy the whole timeline, but they would then put Trunks to a duplicate one, so in the end, pretty much, the Goku Black arc would just end a lot quicker. They were fodder characters anyway. Even if they were fused Zamasu, Trunks and Vegeta teaming up, they would have been able to defeat fused Zamasu no issue. Now we're going to cut forward into the Tournament of Power. Now, Goku in reality, would he offer this? No, because Goku's way more mature. Now, Goku by this point is almost 100 years old mentally. He would not really be offering to go fight to have all the universes destroyed, but for plot purposes, we're going to say yes. Now, whoa. What about Frieza? The Frieza arc did happen. I just kind of glossed over it because it would have went a lot differently. The Frieza movie would have been 10 minutes. If Frieza was brought back and he trained for 3 months, but even if he went back to Earth, Gohan is all they need. Gohan and Piccolo can team up, and even if Goku instantly teleported them back, Vegeta or Raditz would have one-shot Frieza and completely obliterated him without much of a thought at all. Remember, because Gohan is continuing to train, not gotten rusty, and he's continuing to push the Super Saiyan 4 state, Gohan is not weak. He's actually much stronger than he was from the Beerus fight with Goku. yeah, Frieza would have gotten completely obliterated by Gohan. And if you want to go overkill, bring Vegeta and Raditz in there. And if you want to go deadly overkill, bring Goku. Yeah, unfortunately, Frieza would have had his golden form for about 1 minute, and then he would have died. Unfortunately, Frieza got the biggest L again. So cutting back all the way forward to the Tournament of Power, Goku would not request to go get Frieza because he doesn't think that they need Frieza. Now, what about Majin Buu? Now, Majin Buu would still be asleep, as that wouldn't really change. And cutting forward, would he get Frieza? I don't think so, because Frieza was not that strong, while comparing to everyone else. The Universe 7 has a very stacked team. Now, the androids are there, and Android 16 would even join in too. That would be the replacement. Even though Frieza's a lot stronger, they just don't... Literally, Raditz, Vegeta, and everyone else does not want Frieza there. They do not trust him. But Goku would agree. Now, the first person that would want to jump in is the fact that they know that there's a mortal that surpassed the God of Destruction, and Goku knows that there's one mortal that he heard has surpassed the God of Destruction himself, and that is Jiren. Goku would then meet Jiren, and the two would begin their battle. Goku would then fight him in base form, and actually fight pretty well against Jiren, turning Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3. Jiren was really shocked how strong this mortal is, but once when Goku goes into Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue, fortunately, Jiren loses. Fortunately, Jiren has no chance against this version of Goku. Goku would have overpowered Jiren and knocked him out of the ring. Goku would then help the rest of his friends attack and get everyone out of the ring. The fight would have gone by much quicker. Universe 7 would have easily won. Now, Gohan was still made the team leader. He would have still made the wish to bring everybody back, just like before. So none of that would really change. Now, cutting forward, what about the Broly movie? Well, if Paragus did meet up, he wouldn't, because Frieza was basically dead. So they wouldn't really have a chance to meet up. Now, you could say that Chi-Lai and Lemmo did find Broly still, and once when they did that, basically Paragus could maybe find out that Vegeta was alive, but I don't really see how that's possible. Now, you could maybe say that Broly could sense that there's a lot of high powers nearby, and maybe they investigate and they see. It's really up in the air. But even if Broly did go to Earth, unfortunately, he would have a rude awakening. Broly's absurdly powerful. Some say he's stronger than Jiren, but everyone else would have defeated Broly. And yeah, I honestly think that Broly will probably stick with Lemmo and Chi-Lai. And if they did land on Earth, which I'm going to follow, Broly would have been defeated by Goku, but spared, as Goku would help train Broly as he sees the potential within him. Now, what about the Dragon Ball Superhero? Now, I know Dragon Ball Superhero is cutting forward, but Dragon Ball Superhero, Gohan and the others, they're strong enough to defeat the Gammas and Cell Max. That would have gone pretty much the same. Now, the thing with Moro is with Moro, true, he was still a lot of energy, but Goku's power would be too much. As even if Goku did go into Super Saiyan Blue, it would be too much for Moro to handle. Now, you could say that Moro could take enough and stronger than Goku. You could say that, but when he tried taking Miras's power, he got overwhelmed and he exploded. Now, Goku's not an angel. Now, cutting forward, Moro would have been defeated either way. Goku was still too strong. And if they were in a real pickle, Goku could have fused with somebody like Vegeta, etc., get even stronger. The Gas Arc. Even if Gas and them still made their wish alongside with Granola, they would have died instantaneously. As with Goku being so high, their wish would have taken off years of their life, but they would have been completely incinerated pretty much instantly. Yeah, and there's no Black Frieza arc, unfortunately. Now, you could say that Frieza's men could try reviving Frieza again, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen because they can't find any other Dragon Balls. The Frieza's stuck in hell screaming under teddy bears and rainbows. So anyway, that is it for this series, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys do enjoy it. I really do appreciate all the support that you guys have brought me. Let's see, 20,000 subscribers. I'll talk to you all later.